Hi everyone. In this video, we will focus on task 1 of the IELTS writing test. In this task, you will need to describe and analyze visual data. Understanding how to structure your response effectively is key to scoring well. In writing task 1, you will see different types of visuals. Line graphs are commonly used to show trends over time, helping to highlight increases, decreases, or fluctuations in data. Bar charts compare different categories and can be either dynamic, which display changes over time, or static, which present data from a single point in time. Tables present numerical data, that is, they show numbers in rows and columns, which helps you read and compare information clearly. Pie charts show how something is divided into parts, like slices of a pie, so you can see which part is the biggest or smallest. Process diagrams show the steps of how something works, or how something is made, or how something functions. Maps are used to show changes in places or to compare different locations. Finally, combination charts put two or more visuals together to present data relationships. Your response should be at least 150 words, as writing less than that can lower your score. Make sure your writing is clear, accurate, and well organized. Organize your ideas logically using appropriate vocabulary to describe differences and similarities effectively. In upcoming videos, we will cover specific vocabulary and strategies used for describing different types of graphs and charts. Now let's see how to approach task 1. To do well in writing task 1, follow these key steps. First, identify whether you are describing numerical data from a graph, chart, or table, or explaining a sequence in a process diagram. For line graphs, bar charts, and tables, focus on the main trends. Whether the data is increasing, decreasing, fluctuating, or remaining stable, as shown in the line graph on the slide. For process diagrams, identify the key stages and understand how each step is connected, as seen in the process diagram on the slide. Highlight the most significant changes, trends, or steps. Avoid describing every detail. Focus on the key points that summarize the data effectively. For graphs and tables, use trend-based vocabulary like rose significantly, decline sharply, or remain stable. For process diagrams, use sequencing words like first, next, then, and finally to describe how the process unfolds. By following these steps and using the right vocabulary, you'll be able to describe any task 1 question effectively. Now let's talk about the structure you should follow in academic writing task 1. Your response should be organized into 3 key parts. First, you begin with an introduction, where you paraphrase the question and briefly describe what the graph, chart, table, or process diagram presents. Next, you write an overview, summarizing the key trends or main features. This is an essential part of your response, as it helps the examiner understand the big picture before you discuss details. Finally, in the detailed description, you provide specific data comparisons. This is where you highlight major increases, decreases, differences, or trends with actual figures from the visual. The number of body paragraphs in the detailed description can vary. You might write 1 or 2 paragraphs depending on the complexity and amount of information in the question. Although most vocabulary in Task 1 is commonly used across different question types, the specific wording depends on whether you are describing trends, comparing categories, or explaining a process. We will discuss this in more detail when we explore how to describe each type of graph or chart in separate videos. Understanding this structure will help you organize your response effectively and improve clarity in your writing. Now let's look at some common mistakes that students make in writing Task 1 and how to avoid them. One of the biggest mistakes is leaving out the overview. The overview is essential for a good score because it summarizes the main trends or key features of the data. Without it, your response lacks a clear focus. Another mistake is simply listing numbers without explaining what they mean. Don't just copy figures from the graph or table. Analyze the data. It's important to highlight key trends, comparisons, or significant changes instead of treating it like a list of numbers. One more issue is misunderstanding or misrepresenting the information in the graph or table. For example, assuming that a small fluctuation is a significant trend, or confusing percentages with actual numbers. Always read the data carefully and ensure that your description accurately reflects the trends shown in the visual. Lastly, using informal or unclear language can lower your score. Task 1 requires formal academic writing, so avoid casual phrases and unclear descriptions. Instead of saying, "the numbers went up a lot," use precise vocabulary like "the figures increased significantly" or "experienced a sharp rise." By avoiding these mistakes and following a structured approach, you can improve clarity, accuracy, and coherence in your response. We will move on to the assessment criteria now. At the outset, it's important to understand that the assessment criteria for Task 1 and Task 2 are the same. In the writing test, your response is assessed based on 4 key criteria. The first one is task achievement. This measures how well you answer the question. In Task 1, this involves accurately summarizing key trends while also providing relevant details and comparisons. In Task 2, it means addressing the question fully, presenting a clear opinion, and supporting it with well-developed ideas. The second one is coherence and cohesion. This assesses the organization of your writing. Your ideas should be clear, logically structured, and well connected with appropriate linking words. The third one is lexical resource. This refers to your vocabulary. Using a variety of accurate and appropriate words while avoiding repetition. Correct spelling and academic style are also important. And the last one is grammatical range and accuracy. This focuses on correct grammar usage and sentence structure. Strong writing demonstrates a mix of different sentence types and correct tense usage. Each of these areas is equally important, and improving your skills in all 4 will help you achieve a high score in the writing test. As we conclude, remember that writing Task 1 is all about understanding data and effectively communicating key trends. With regular practice, you will develop the ability to recognize trends, compare data effectively, and write clear, well-structured responses. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. Keep working on your writing, and best of luck with your preparation. That brings us to the end of this session. I hope you found it helpful in understanding writing task 1 and how to improve your responses. Remember, consistent practice is key to success. Keep refining your skills, stay focused, and apply what you have learned. Thank you for watching and happy learning. Stay tuned for upcoming videos where we will dive deeper into specific aspects of writing task 1. See you next time.